haven't had an update to the rolling ingot project on YouTube in quite a while. So I'll go over a little bit what we're doing right now. This is the day before Thanksgiving in 2015. So we've been working on this project for just about a year now. If you notice, the boiler is missing. It is at the JS company up in Middlefield. They are working on retubing it. There's at least one stay bolt that's broken. The bottom half of the smoke box needs replaced, as well as the liner. And we got some studs to replace, a few other things to do on it. So it'll be there over the winter. What we're focusing on now with the locomotive itself is to continue stripping the components off of it, get it down to the bare frame, and then the frame will be shipped out to Reichert Industries in Niles. And Reichert is a heavy fabricator. They build ladles and hot metal cars and other pieces of equipment for steel industry. They're going to be putting the parts that were cut off of this back on. They're going to put the pilot back on, and then put the back platform back on the locomotive. Probably about 10,000 pounds worth of steel was cut off that we have to now put back on, so they'll be doing that. Meanwhile, while the frame is out, we're going to continue working on the various components, cleaning up all the various parts, the drivers and the rods and everything else, and renewing as we have to as we go along. And then when the frame is done, it'll come back here to Youngstown, and we will then start reassembling it, put the drivers back under it, put the rods and all that back on it. When the boiler is done, it'll come back here. We'll put the boiler on. The saddle tank is down in Pittsburgh at Carey Furnaces. Once we get done with the work down there, we'll bring the saddle tank up here, put it on, and then the cab, which we have under construction in the Todd Engine building, will then come out and be put in place. So basically, we're going to complete the restoration of the locomotive here in Youngstown, and then once it's done and operable here, we'll have a couple of operating sessions here in Youngstown before we take the locomotive and move it back down to Carey Furnaces, where it'll spend a period of time down there operating at Carey Furnaces. The ultimate goal here is to have basically two 2-foot gauge operations here at Youngstown and also at Carey Furnaces, and be able to move equipment back and forth between the two sites. Ultimately, we'd like to have a second locomotive, so we can have one locomotive that stays here and one that stays in Pittsburgh. Having the ability to have live steam, have steam railroads here in Youngstown and Pittsburgh, I think we're going to be pretty big for both organizations. So it's something we want to continue to promote. We've just got done building a tender, and indulge me here as I pick the GoPro up. This cute little thing back here is a tender that we built using the car came from Kowalczyk's, and that's one of the Carpenter Steel 24-inch gauge cars that he has a pile of, probably 50 or 60 of. The box itself, it was originally was a scrap bin for wheeling steel, and then was used at the Wheeling LaBelle plant as a coal bin. We took it, bought 3 of them at the auction a couple months ago, flipped this one over, cut the bottom out, and converted it into basically a slope back tender. And then we have the partition in there, and then you can see into the coal space. Haven't cut the opening up front here for accessing the coal. I don't know how we're going to do that yet, but once I figure it out, we'll get that cut and ready to go. The steel plate is a plate that I found down at Carey Furnaces. It was a floor plate. It's 2 inches thick. It weighs 1 ton. It gives a little bit of needed weight to this car. and just a quick little walk back here along the right of way. And you can see over here, this is a 2-foot gauge turnout that I'm working on. Most of these components are from down at Cary. The steel ties were down there, and most of the rail was down there. So I'll get the thing built here, and then disassemble it into major sub-assemblies, and then take it back down to Cary to install, since it's a little bit easier working on that stuff up here. And then we head back over here. You can see the engine house, which still is not completed. Been too busy working on other projects here to get this done, but we'll get it done here pretty soon. And then out in front here, we've added 2 rails, basically to give us an open air working area for the locomotive. And I'm going to be putting in doors at both ends, really, so that we can pull the locomotive forward out into this area and work on it in the nice summer days. And then when we're done with it, shove it back into the building and close it up. Eventually, we hope to extend the track out into the front of the property through this fence, and maybe another 100 feet or so going forward. So when that happens, then the engine house will basically be spanning the main line. Okay, well, we'll go inside here. And all we have in here, this is the beginnings of the new cab for the 58. This is being built to the Porter drawings. This is the Porter drawing that we have for the cab. So I'm going exactly to what the drawing says I should do. So at this point, this is as far as I got, because I'm a little unsure about with the curvature of the back end of the cab wall and exactly how to locate it on the cab. I'm thinking, well, I'm just going to hold off on doing any more work on the cab until we can set it down on the platform that Reichard will be making for us, and so I can locate that back wall perfectly. I would hate to guess wrong and end up with a cab that doesn't fit perfectly on the frame. But you know, building exactly as planned. I went with 1/4-inch plate for the walls instead of, I think it was calling for like 6-gauge material or something like that. So just a little bit thicker, which I don't think is going to hurt anything on this behemoth of a heavy locomotive. So basically, that's everything that's going on here. Oh, one last thing is that we did get the smoke box front. So there's the smoke box door. And thanks to Preston McAvoy over at the Colbertdale Railroad, who gave us the number plate off the 060 Porter that he's restoring, and there it is right there, along with the numbers and some of the smoke box door dogs that'll be painted the next time we mix up the black paint with the hardener. So, oh, and by the way, here's the Todd engine sitting here very patiently waiting for us to spend some time working on it. We'll have to wait another year or two for that. We've got steam locomotives to work on, but take a little walk around here real quick. I'll tell you, the best thing is being able to work in the vicinity of this thing every day. There she is with the 20-foot flywheel and our 68-inch coreless cylinder and then a 34-inch dual piston valve high-pressure cylinder. And might as well take a look up here at the Morgan crane, which is, as far as we know, is the oldest existing electric overhead crane in the country. and something we're very proud to have, and eventually we'll get it finished and rewired as well. It gets tough to do all this stuff when it's just one or two guys. We tend to focus on one thing at a time, and then kind of hit it hard, whatever we're working on at the time, get that project done, and then move on to something else. So a couple years ago, the big project was the cosmetic restoration of the Todd, which we got that all done, which you can see here. And then now it's the 58, and then later on, probably back to working on the crane, or back to working on the Todd. So, at any rate, that's what's going on today, and I'll try to keep up with the updates here online, and just go to the main way to keeping a track of what we're doing is go to Facebook, to the Rolling Ingot group, and join it if you haven't already. And whenever we do something involving the locomotive, immediately we put that on Facebook there. So that gives you the best and most up-to-date information about what we're doing.